Alright, to start, you want to take the piece where all the leaves will sit and draw a little Sharpie line from this left edge all the way down and onto the holder right here. You're going to super glue it in place. Just line up this top edge with loosely the left edge of this. And if you want, you can use these notches as well at the bottom. Now you're going to take the leaves, which you've hopefully already folded down the little flap, and with flap side down, just start placing them into the notches, overlapping one another. Getting to this, you want to just carefully get it underneath. Now you want to take this really thin ring, you can sand it smooth if it's a little rough, and line up the pins so they just fall right into there.
So the inside has a notch right there. I put my thumb right by it so I can have an idea of where it is. And then there's this side. That's the side that I drew the line on. Take this and you want to line up the pins with the holes inside. And as you bring it down, that line should be where it lines up. It's in, and then you test it by keeping your fingers there. You twist, and it should close all the way. If it doesn't close all the way, that means the notch didn't line up correctly. You need to pull it back out and realign. And then twist it. Make sure you hold it down and then lift out.
One thing you have to do is sand everything down, especially this inner groove right here where the ring will run up and down, the top and bottom, and get this rounded edge especially. You want to smooth down the pegs of this piece, all three of them, all the way around. You also want to get the outer edge here and the inner edge of this one, so this part and this lip. I use a round file, a flat file, and some sandpaper with a popsicle stick to hold the sandpaper. Some important notes regarding the friction fits in this model. So this retaining ring needs to have a pretty tight grip with the outer edge because this is essentially holding the top and the bottom half together. So it should go in and not fall out. And you can either add a layer of tape around the edge, or when you're finally done, you can glue everything together. The other important fit is the one of the base and the outer ring. This will line up inside with the little notches, and you want to be able to push it down all the way and also have a good friction fit. Now to put everything together, you take the ring holder piece here, drop it into the grooves, lay it down flat, making sure your iris is all the way open. You're going to take this grooved piece and line up the edges of here with that, and these notches line up with the notches inside. So you just drop it in and make sure that kind of pushes down and lays flat. You can check the rotation, and more importantly, holding it from the top, flip it over and check inside to make sure these grooves are lined up, and you can have still smooth opening and closing. Now take your retaining ring, flip it over, and just drop it in. Remember, it's a friction fit. Make sure it's down and flush. And again, you can check the rotation. It should be smooth. If it's not, you take it apart and sand it down. Finally, you line up these notches with those grooves and just push it down. And you should have a working iris. If you're happy with how everything fits together, then you can super glue everything shut. Just apply a little bit around the edges here, around, and push it in. Wait for that to dry, make sure everything works. And then you can also add just a small amount of super glue on the bottoms. I'd say just here and here should be plenty. So when you drop it in, it stays shut. And the little ring container, I took some 6mm foam and cut into 2 circles and cut out the shape of the ring. Pushed it in, insert your ring, that should fit into here. And now